Lisa. Lisa. What's up, Dolphy? So just shooting this out. So, I've never done this before, so I was shooting it out. So, what I could do is tell people I was live. Hopefully we'll get some more coverage. Fingers crossed. Did you figure out what was up with your Wi-Fi? Any idea? Any clue? Hopefully, Gino and the rest of the crew arrive. I'd like to give a proper shout out. See if I can do this with. Damn, that's a sweat line. Damn. I look like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah! It's disgusting. That is just gross. Not a clue, huh? Wacky, man. So this is the 1 3/8 that I was talking about. I think you missed it. I think you got kicked out before before that went down. And if I have any troubles here with, I'm right by the workbench, so all I'm gonna do is flip it to show all the parts. Yeah, I think you missed it. I was talking with Gino about what parts I need to get this front end rocking. So 49 mil front end. I got a 1 3/8. Oh, I just almost knocked this. Look at that shit. That's terrible. I almost knocked this this O-ring loose by dropping it. So essentially this O-ring doesn't do much. I should glue it in, to be honest, but I don't have any glue here immediately. All I have is assembly lube, which I was going to show a couple of the parts, like the fork seal driver. This thing's just the nuts, and then you flip it for the dust cap, the dust seals, and just bang, bang, bang. This thing is actually cool. I'm going to do like a medium to deep dive on this guy. It's a 49 and 50 mil, which I got a later Dyna, so I don't need the whole 39/40 or even like the whole slew of them. I just need literally that guy. But I honestly think I should glue this in. This O-ring doesn't do much besides prevent, and I'll show you just real quick. Besides prevent, I got to unhook the phone. I got it on charge right now. Besides prevent, just like abrasions. So when you come over here and I zoom in and you see the top cap of the fork, which is right here. I may have some wiring in my way that may jam me up. I'm trying to pull it out of the way. But all it does is just so it's not bare metal on metal. See how nice that locked on? And if I was a doofus, which would be kind of cool, that actually looks like an adjustable front fork front end right now. So that kind of looks like a DX front end. If I glued this on and just kept it there, it would be absolutely just for aesthetics. And I wouldn't do that because I'm not a poser. But I could imagine anybody that did do that, it would be hilarious. But you can see the nice knurling on the side. So you can, get a nice tight bite after you got it loosened with. And I made sure I got the 3/8 chuck one, which is pretty standard for most ratchets. So you have 3 different sizes. You got the 1/2 inch, which is huge. You got the 3/8, and then you got a 1/4 inch drive. Those are the 3 main sockets. But really all this O-ring or all this bushing does. Gino, what's up, buddy boy? So I was just talking about this 1 3/8 top fork cap I have for getting my forks loose, getting my forks out of here, which hopefully it's going to be, I'll be cranking on it by Tuesday. Man, hoping. I'm waiting on on 2 more little deliveries. One of them is all my internals. I'll do a quick walk around for anybody else that's in here that hasn't seen the Dyna yet. I know you guys are quite familiar, but I'll do just a quick walk around. Just a quick one. But this is my 2006 fuel injected. What else is cool about it? 6-speed, twin cam, black on silver with the shitty stock risers and handlebar setup. I have done a couple things. Headlight, which screams, and fog light, which I really like. I like that fog light mounted underneath. I tied it into my high beam, but I'll just quickly do a really quick walk around. I would love dual disc up front. That's something you have to change your front fork lower. So when I was talking about lower, Gino, I don't know if you know, man, but I'm assuming you do because you're a pretty mechanical dude. But when I say forks, you know, this would be my upper and that's my lower. So all this I'm keeping, right? I'm changing all my internals because as you can see just right there, I already have some serious wear. Never mind that dude got in an accident before. Let me finish this walk around. But yeah, I'd have to, so I don't know if you can see on this side, see these 2 mounting brackets? They're actually on the fork. So what that does, that's my caliper mount. In order to put a rotor and a caliper on this side, you have to have the connection back here, which you can see all I have is just this top connection for my tin, my front fender, but I don't have those here. I'd have to get a new right lower in order to make that dual disc in the front, which I'd really love. What comes stock? The FXDXs come stock, and essentially, this being a Super Glide, this essentially is an FXDX without the superness of it. FXDXs are just one of the most sought after Super Glides on the market. The FXD, which is just straight up Dyna. This guy's pretty tight though, man. I got some good parts on it. Huge shout out to Cruzy Originals. Those guys are absolutely everywhere, in and on and around my bike. Love that the console's black. It just meshes in so nice with the tank flawlessly. There's a lot of things about this bike that I just love. She is really beautiful. The bags are not necessarily one of them. I kind of dig the bags at the same time. It's like, she'd look so much more badass without the bags, to be honest. Let me throw the big light on so we can do her some justice. I'll try to be as still as I possibly can. Have I named her yet? That's a damn good question. That is a damn good question, my friend. Well, I'm kind of sticking right now with Dirty Dyna. That's also a Gmail that I've had for like 15 years. So if anybody wants to email me, it's dirtydyna16@gmail. I can't believe I'm putting that out on YouTube, but I don't have a big enough following for that to even. You do like the bags, Lisa. Yeah, they're not terrible. I mean, they're stock, and boy, they were awful pricey to the dude that actually bought these prior. They are Harley OEM, but the thing I'll say, I shouldn't say OEM. OEM is original equipment. They're aftermarket, but one thing that really sucks is they're not quick detach. They straight go into my strut, right? Which this is a strut, which is essentially part of the frame. So that stability, it's like, first day I had it, Lisa, you might remember this, to be honest. I took that left side bag off, and I was kicking myself after the fact. I'm like, why did I do that? So I'm cruising around the block. Little did I know, I heard ding, 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 and thank the gods I looked behind me because there was a bracket. There's a bracket behind here that I didn't know. It's like brass. You might even be able to see it right there. Yeah, you can kind of, sort of. That bracket. So that's just a mounting point, but there's a very thin, about the dimensions of between that bolt and that bolt, there's a bracket back there that goes behind the strut that these two wicked long, they must be, I mean, Christ, they're almost as long as my top rear shock sliders are, but oh my gosh. So I took it off. It took me like fucking 2 hours, no kidding, to get it back on. It is belt driven. I would love a chain drive. The pipes are not terrible. They're Screaming Eagle 2, which is like a little bit better than aftermarket. The bags are nice, but I wish I had the opportunity to take them off. I don't. Once I take them off, it takes me hours to put them back on. So I would love quick change bags. I love having bags for the sake of being able to use it as stowage, right? So that is excellent. I absolutely think bags are necessary if you're doing any type of, not long range, but you know what I mean. Just bebopping around and having places to put a six pack. Let me throw this charger back on. Places to grab a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread for the family. It's like, there's certain things with bags just come in so clutch, and then there's other things where, it's like the bike looks so much better without bags, and they really do. I wish I had just 2 hours to waste with you guys to just pull those guys off, because you'd see, man, she just looks smooth. She's like streamlined. She just looks so clean without the bags on. So, I mean, I'm at a catch-22 right now. Right now, I'm just making her mechanically sound. I still need a motor mount. I'm either going to go Spooth in the front or Big Bear. Not sure yet. They're both roughly about the same price. That's something I don't have the dough to do right now. But, yeah, that's like stability issues. There's this thing with Dyna. It's called the Dyna Wobble. And it's once you get past a high speed. Don't let me get too segued, but I just priced out a front fork mount. All it does is it grabs the forks and it goes across your front fender. So let me digress. Let me get back to that one. There's certain things with Dynas that, since they're not like the FXR where it's all hard mounted and your trans isn't attached to your swing arm, which Dynas are, FXRs, that's why they were just some of the most sturdiest bikes out there. And what they were a crossover between the Sportster and like a touring bike. So they were right in the middle. Granted, they had the same exact size, like frame size, as a Dyna, but they were just the best. They're rubber bushings, rubber mounted, so it's like it absorbed all that vibration. FXRs are just the bee's knees, and then FXRs and FXDXs are like right there is like number 1 and number 2 best mid-size Harley. So when I say mid-size, I mean small size being like a Sportster, or nowadays the new Nightsters are like a small size, but those are just quick, depends who you ask. Opposed to like a full dresser, something with a full fairing, a road glide, a street glide, an FHL, FHL, FLT, any of those, bigger, full bags, full front fairing, like radio, all that jazz. This is more of a kind of a streamlined fast bike. Guys like this because you could do a lot of lane splitting with it, which is always cool. Just in and out of traffic, up on curves, just to get that peel off if you want to. I hate saying club style because everybody uses that term, but that's kind of why people really flocked to the Dyna Lowriders, the Super Glides, the Wide Glides, kind of, sort of, so much. Wide Glides were really cool, but I have my qualms about Wide Glides. I hate the rear fender, how it scoops up. So if you look at my rear fender here, without showing my plate, you can see my rear fender straight up just goes down. So when I say rear fender, I mean this guy right here. This is my rear fender. My rear fender comes straight down and then that's it, cuts off at my tire. The Wide Glides, they like came up. There was like a lip right here. That's how you can always tell a Wide Glide. It came up and there was just a little, I can't stand a Wide Glide tin. I do not like Wide Glide fenders at all. And I think honestly that's it, besides just how wide the front is. I mean, it's the same 49 millimeter front forks I have, except they just, I don't know, man, they look different. They just look different. And if you look at my front forks right now, you can see the distance between here is not horrendous. This is a 49 mil, pardon me, it's a 49 mil front end. Let me get you this a bit closer so you can appreciate what the hell I'm talking about. It's a 49 mil fork, which Sportsters and early model Dynas, say 2000, 02, 03, they all had 39 mil, so that just means the diameter was a little bit more. See, mine's like this, 39 mil would be like that. To me, this is just more sturdy, more stable. But when I said front fork brace, and I was just looking at him, this guy Joey Bananas, who I follow, who's actually a New England rider himself, kid's like one of the best stunters around outside of East Coast, and he's part of the 603 boys. So as you can tell, 603 is New Hampshire's area code. I'm 617, and other certain parts of Mass is 781. So he just bought, and he tagged in his story. I think it was OG. Yeah, OG. So OG company, they're a company that makes bike parts, made this beautiful front fork brace. Let me get my shoulder out of the way. That clamps right here. So right below your dust caps. I don't know if you can see that separation here. Let me try to get a bit closer, at least on this one. So there's a line right here. These guys pop up, and then all the internals from my upper to my lower tied together. There's fork seals in here. There's clamps to, keep the upper connected to the lower, all that shit. But this is essentially a dust cover. Pop the dust cover up, and there's another dust seal, which is rubber, and there's another one, and then there's a metal clip, and then there's some other stuff that, like I said, connect the upper to the lower to prevent it from just popping apart and you spilling fluid everywhere. At any rate, they mount right here below the dust cover, right here on the other side, and they just skip across. So what that does, essentially, that gives more stability to the front. Think about it. If I don't have an inverted front end, which an inverted front end would be essentially to take my uppers and put them up by the top of my tree. Now you have, and I've always explained it like, imagine my wrist was up where my forearm is, where my shoulder and bicep is, and this was switched. So I would look so funny, right? Having super skinny up here, but terribly wide down here. So that's a stability of how I compare what an inverted front end does. You're way beefy up here, and you're kind of more stable down here with your axle, and then your tire being in the middle. Harley did this and made them standard. This isn't inverted, this is a straight up. But I've always thought, until I heard Cruzy's take on it, then I kind of sided with him because he came up with some really valid points. But I always thought being sturdy up here and then being tapered down here was the ticket. The way he broke it down for stunting, it's not that way at all. And he came up with some really valid points. I don't remember all of them right now, but he really did. So the lowers for me are the beefy part, and then it tapers up to my actual fork. And I'll show you once we get up to the workbench up there. But the fork brace from OG that Joey Bananas 66, I believe, is in proper name of his channel on Insta. Fantastic channel. The dude stunts Dyna's like, he's just a boss. He had this fork brace, and the one he had from OG was like $290, almost $300. I was like, yikes. The one I was looking at eBay. Now, it might not be the best, but it seemed decent. It has good connections. It just seems sturdy. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But essentially what it does is it just grabs these guys, it grabs my forks, and holds them steady. And now you've got this brace going literally right across. There's a little gap, but right across your front fender. That I thought was just sick. Sick. So that's another thing to help me. Never mind a motor mount. A motor mount is something that's going to make this bike just premier. And I don't have $480 from Big Bear right now, but this is the stock motor mount. And I assure you, I can't tell you enough that they're shit. They're absolute trash. Let me try to compress this tripod. They're rubber mounted. I mean, with a bike like this that only has $9,000, I still kind of have a little love in mine, but man, I can just feel this jolting from the front end that, one, made me go, okay, I need to rebuild my forks, man. My forks are a mess because I hit every speed bump, every little pothole, like my damn tire is gonna blow. It's brutal. It's brutal. So I want to be as safe as I possibly can on this thing, and I want to get this thing like really ready, And I'm not speaking with a lisp. I literally said wheelie ready, like not wheelie, like wheelie good, like a goofy little kid, somebody with a speech impediment, but wheelie ready. I wanna bang a wheelie or two on this bad boy. Now, am I gonna be, you know, a number one stunner? What? No, probably not. But you know, who knows? I've been riding dirt bikes since I was this big, so who knows? I could get on one and just it could come natural to me. Who's to say? But as of right now, that bike's good enough to go down the road with. As you've seen many times we go down the road, but you see a lot of vibration too from having my phone mounted just on my handlebars. Just right here, you've seen a ton of vibration. When I turn it back to me, it's a little better, but when I have it aiming out at the road, and I've rewatched my lives just to see just how brutal they are, they're pretty brutal, man. So, you know, there's a couple things I gotta do to this to even make her remotely sound. That's all I want. I want her to be sound. I want to be able to hit a bump and it not jar my jaw, you know? So, let me read what you guys are. Read what you guys are jabbing about. Do. Gino's in the house. Let's go. You know, Dirty Dyna. To come back to your question, Dirty Dyna is the only thing I've come up with so far for her. Just simply because, you know, I've had that for an email for an awful long time, and I get a couple of emails, but Dirty Dyna is kind of one of my go-tos. Lisa likes the bags, Dirty D and the Bikin' Viking. That's kind of rad. Yeah, the Dirty Dyna and the Bikin' Viking, kid. I like it. The Tinker King, Esquire. God, look at that. I don't know if it's just because I got a fat gut, but oh yeah, straight Kool-Aid, man. Hold on, let me do it like I'm breaking through the wall. Oh yeah! Get the straight Kool-Aid, man, on my Vita. It's just because it's so friggin' hot. I literally had to bring my little room fan out here, man. It is just, if you see me doing this and wiping my brow, it is freaking, it was really warm out today, and we run on the same plane. We're not that far, maybe 2 hours away, Lisa. So yeah, you catch the same exact weather I catch. When you tell me, you know, it's cloudy and it's raining there, like it's just an hour or two before it starts raining here. I washed my hat last night, and I think damn it, oh cool, it's suspended. There's sawdust all over the floor. Last thing I want to do is get sawdust on my bandana and then wipe my face with it. So I washed the hat last night. You can see my bill's a little wonky over here, man. I even kept it in front of the fan. Hopefully this would dry out. I'm guessing there's cardboard in here. When I was a kid, they lined this with plastic. It was just a very thin piece of plastic bill. But, yeah, look, man, it was like, had a nice little curve in the middle. Nothing hardcore like 1980s baseball players where you got that tunnel vision. But I don't like just a flat brim either. It's not my style. But, man, it's like this guy got wonky. Just got wonky. Maybe it's because I'm just sweating. All right, that's a little bit better, but this side just looked weird. Maybe it's because I'm sweating buckets in it. But yeah, damn, Lisa, it's been awful warm out. Awful warm, man. So I'm going to flip the camera here in a second. And I brought down just about everything I got. You guys saw all the race tech stuff, so I'll lightly go over that. But thank you for the 4 other people that hopped in here. Please throw down a comment. You know, talk to my friends Gino at Hey It's a Johnson's fantastic channel, or my other sweet friend here, Lisa Silverwolf. Great people, man. You'll enjoy just joining the crew. And just know, everybody's welcome. Absolutely everybody's welcome. If you like Harley content, even if you don't, if you just like some dude from Boston running his fucking jaws, hop in. At least say hi. You'll get a hi back from me. All right, let me go recycle. I am a recycler. To answer Mrs. K's question earlier, Gino, but he still hasn't returned. He's been out at the park all bloody day, and that little bugger is still not back. And it's what, close to 9, right? That's 9 on the button. I told you earlier. I said I'd try to get at it about 8. I had to make supper for the little one and I, and it came out pretty good. I did like a pulled pork sandwich with grilled sourdough instead of buns. You know, 1, we didn't have buns. 2, I'd rather use up. I get nice sourdough where it's all still heavy in the loaf from Market Basket. Oh, dude, that toasted is fantastic. And I'll just pop it in the toaster because I like it a bit thicker, so it don't fit in the toaster. A little bit thicker than bread. So say bread's about maybe 1/2 inch. I like to go, I don't know, maybe 9/16. Just a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch. But yeah, normally it doesn't fit in the toaster. So what I do, lightly oil, and then little garlic pepper, little garlic powder, and a little bit of celery salt. Oh, dude, fantastic, fantastic. And that's just getting the bread ready. That's getting the toast ready. But oh, did a pulled pork. I think I did a Lloyd's pulled pork. So one of the tins, just heated up the meat. I did broccoli. Because you got to throw a veg in there. Kids got to eat their veg, man. I'm a big advocate of pushing veg on my little. It feeds their brain, you know. So we did pulled pork sandwiches, bread, sourdough toast, and then what else did I do? Oh, I did fajitas too, just in case she didn't like the toast. Even though she's like me, she loves sourdough. So that worked out well. No 3 sides, just 2. Well, just a main course and a veg. Normally I do like a baked potato or mashed potatoes, depends what she wants. And then I do like homemade chicken cutlets because I'm a sucker for chicken cutlets. I love doing them the right way. Do them in flour. I do thin ones too. You know, pound them out. Or this place down the street, matter of fact, Jay Pachi. That's a shout out to Jay Pachi in Saugus. The best. That's actually where I got you your rolls, your Panadosi rolls at Jay Pachi, Lisa. So Jay Pachi has these chicken cutlets that are fantastic. They're wicked thin. I think they call them petite or something like that. Oh, they're the best. So normally you take a chicken breast and you cut it like 3 times, or you cut it twice. So there's 3, right? You got your top, your middle, and your bottom. If you cut it twice, butterfly it rather. Like put it down and then, you know, take that one off, put this one down. So you want cutlets thin. That's the real Italian way to do it. And I'm Irish, don't get it twisted, but I've dated many of the Italian chicks, and dude, they're nannies. Boy, do they know how to cook. One girl's parents are straight from the North End, and the other one from the North End, but then they moved to Medford. So, every Sunday we were down there, pal. Every Sunday it was family supper. So anyways, I usually do a baked or mashed potatoes with no chive, but we do butter and sour cream. I like a steamed potato with a little bit of like Colby Jack cheese in there, and then, you know, butter. I actually got this stuff at Market Basket. It's fantastic. It's garlic butter. It comes in just this little tin. Matter of fact, something about this size without the cap. It has a blue cap, and it's just like a spread. Oh, is it lovely? So take that, a little bit of garlic butter with regular butter. Just pop that inside. If you have the time, you can do sour cream and chives, all that stuff. That's always bueno too. But so we'll do a potato. I usually do like rice with Saison, a nice orange seasoning, and then the chicken cutlets. And man, that's like the most well-rounded meal. And if I substitute the rice, I'll throw in a veg, or I'll do veg and rice and leave the potato. But most of the time it's either, you know, if it's a baked potato or mashed, I'll substitute that so there's not too much starch. We'll do like peas. I'm a big fan of green beans, so isn't my little. Spinach. Spinach is always a great veg, or broccoli. And if you want to get fancy, you do, you know, nice yellow melted cheese over the broccoli. Forget it. You know, you can't go wrong. So enough talk about grub. Let's talk about the bike. Let's do a little race tech reveal. Let's do some parts that I've got. I busted this one out earlier just so you can see the 1 3/8. That is my 49 mil top. This guy was really reasonable. Unfortunately, it is made in China. That you can see right there, but I wrote inch and 3/8, which I think it already had that on there. No, it didn't. It just said fork cap socket. Fork cap socket. And then there's some friggin' ding along jing jang made in China. 49 mil I wrote on it, inch and 3/8 fork wrench cap. And then I wrote 3/8 drive because that's what that guy is. And I will bust out a ratchet real quick. So this guy's easy enough to just navigate here with, this is a 3/8 drive, into my 3/8 drive. You lock that puppy in, and normally I'd probably get an extension on there. It depends how much I need or don't need, but that is an inch and 3/8 to go on the top of my 49 mil. And yeah, man, that's all we need. That is all we need to pop the cap. And I'm pretty excited about that. Like I said, this guy was fairly reasonable. And when I say that, I want to say it was under 20. Not a bad piece of kit, to be honest. Not bad. It has some nice knurling on the sides. So once you got it free, you can just pop your ratchet off. It does have a nice O-ring, so it does not mar the top of your fork caps, which is kind of nice. You know, it saves that. It absolutely saves that. But yeah, this guy's going to be the ticket. And to just verify 100%, I like burning an inch. So when I say burn an inch, I'm not sure if you guys know what I mean when I say that. Let me do it this way. So instead of putting this on the inside, right, putting the lip of the tape on the inside and then measuring here, well, that's pretty accurate actually. So there's 5/16. Inch and 5/16. So see, you have to take in consideration that this is a heavy 16th. So that's, and look at the gap in between here and the tape and the extension, right? So most of the time you can do this on a tape, and there's a reason why they set tapes up like this. But when I say burn an inch, this is what I mean. I don't mean go on the inside or try to hold this on the outside. When I say burn an inch, and sometimes I even burn two, but it's literally, because I'm a finished carpenter, so to get these proper dimensions in between this wall and this wall, I will burn, I say burn an inch, which means, see how I'm just burning that inch? So to burn that inch, let's go like this. We'll hold, so on my 1 inch mark, you can see I'm just right on the inside, and I want to hold this perfectly straight. So you can see that is, it's still 5/6. No, I'm off. I'm not on the inch. Let me see here. So I want to make sure this isn't tilted, so I'm measuring from here to here. I want to measure right from the middle to right in the middle on this side. When I say burn an inch, I'm literally going to put that on my inch mark, and we'll come over to the right side now. And now that's exactly on 3/8. There's no way you can misconstrue that. That is 1 inch and 3/8. So this is how I get direct marks on being a finished carpenter, because I don't like doing stuff like this. So if I was taking a measurement for somebody, there's just too much play in here. I got a 16th off, and like I said, you can slide it. See what I mean? You're going to get a 16th off. You're going to get a 32nd off. I like being as accurate as possible. And you don't just have to burn an inch. You can do it on whatever mark you like. It's just whatever's comfortable for you. So we can start at 2, and we'll get the same exact dimensions. So left side is proper right on 2, right? And then, well, let me get it exactly where I want it. Right there, dead on, and you see, it's on 3/8. So if you don't know how to read a tape, let me show you. So there's 16/16ths in each tape, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but these little guys are 16th marks. These secondary guys are 8ths. So we got 8/8 in an inch, and we're going to start here, and we're going to end here. So we're going to start at the 3 and end at the 4. So these little ones are 16ths. There's 16/16ths in an inch, and there's 8/8 in an inch. And I'll show you real quick how to do that. So we'll first start out at 16. And we count every one for 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's half, yeah? 8 and 8, 16, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 would be 4. Now we'll do 8s. 8s are the ones that come up like a tower. So we'll do 1/8, 2, 3, 4 would be half. So we just went half 16ths would be 8, or half 8ths are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's how you get your measurements. So there's 8ths and 16ths in each inch. Hopefully that helped somebody. If you didn't know how to read a tape, there it is. And then, we could go into, how to find 9/16ths and, how to find 7/8 and all this stuff. It's really, really rather simple. So, like I said, between every half inch, that would be 1/8. So you wouldn't say 2/8, you'd say 1/4 inch, right? Because there's 4 marks here. Let me get this where it's going to focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's 4 quarters and a buck. There you go. There's 4/16ths in an eighth. In a quarter. 4/16ths in a quarter. Super easy. I don't want to make this too difficult or I'm confusing people. I want to make this as absolutely simple as freaking possible. So anybody that's in here will totally get it. And it's way easy. So remember 8ths. 1, 2, 3, 4. AKA half inch. 5, 6, 7. 7/8 is just 2 notches before your next whole number. So if we're going 4 and we're here, right? We go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 and 7/8. It's way easy to read a tape. People make it way more complicated than it needs to, but it's so easy. So how do you find 3/16ths? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we got 3 and 3/16ths. Okay, shoot, that's my measurement. Mark it, write it, measure twice, cut once. Easy as that. So I just want to keep that as simple as possible. Let me see his face turn right after reading your last comment. Uh-oh, here we go. Now we got to go back and read it. I got to get a decent Bruins hat. I hope that wasn't the one that made me... No, that doesn't make me... It doesn't... Yeah, it's good. I want everybody to have, good sock shit, good Bruins shit. And let me put this ratchet away real quick before I forget in this place. Oh, good. Now I'm curious. I like it when you guys give me a hard time. That actually makes my day. I like it when you guys give me shit. Remember, shootout, huge shout out to the 617. Good. All right, let me read what you said since I ain't paying attention. Holly bubble gut feeling, rattle jaw. Yeah, dude, no fun. Dirty Dyna and the Dirty D and the Viking. That is freaking hilarious. More than 2 hours, one out today. I gotta get a decent Bruins hat. Yes, you do. If you're new here, please consider hitting the like and subscribe. Yes, Gino, thank you so much for the shout out to everybody. I just watched because I think you're cute. Lisa, is that what you wanted me to blush about? All right, well, I'm not turning the camera on myself right now because I am blushing. Oh, I remember what I said now. Whether you're here for the motorcycle or you're here for, to hear me run my Boston mouth, that's what, all right, you rebutted that with. Gotcha. You're too funny. What a freaking peach. Waiting to see his face turn red after he read the last comment. Too funny. Yeah, that's why it's not back on me, because I'm 3 shades of red. Lisa, you're friggin' sweet, and always know how to make my face turn red. You always make me blush. 100% always. Irish fellow who loves potatoes. I know, right? What a fucking dude. You never thought that was you never thought that would be on my dinner menu ever, right? Oh, you guys are a friggin' howl. You guys are just too much. All right, so let's get on this second one. I don't want to move the camera around too much, honestly. I'd rather just put it here because I may blip out, and I don't want to blip out. So, secondary. I did pop this open because I told you, I did put some inside of the emulator. So I did put some inside the emulator just to, the gold valve emulator, just to... So when I was flexing it with the spring on, just because I didn't want metal on metal. Metal on metal, I'm like, it was driving me nuts. So I did bust this guy out. just to check out his viscosity, and it's very nice. It's really good lube, and you can see the way I opened it. I did that strategically, but yeah, this is what I was shooting for. It's damn good assembly lube, man. Like it's nice viscous stuff, but it's not too gummy either. So it's just like perfect consistency. I mean, this is pretty much for like packing. Not really. This isn't grease, so you wouldn't pack Barons with this, but you know what I mean. It's if you're putting a cam together, if you're installing lifters and push rods and stuff like that, like that's what this is for. And you can see the viscosity. It's kind of maple syrupy. A little bit on the lighter side, but man, it's really good. So like I said, when I popped it in the gold valve emulator, it was like slick. So this is good stuff. Permatex Ultra Slick. Legit Ultra Slick. So as I'm going by these, I will stack them in front. Now this is friggin' neat. So Gino, this is what I was talking about earlier. And I actually, yeah, so since I did the gold valve, I did this guy too. Check this out. So I've never held one of these myself. You can see the split with the black there. You see the split here. So check this out. This is pretty friggin' cool. So as long as you align these, they come apart. And check this out. I thought this was neat. So these gold pieces, you can see they're dovetailed, right? So they're beveled. They're tighter on top instead of, just sliced straight down. They're tighter on top and beveled on the bottom. Now, to me, that's a dovetail, right? So if you look at that joint, that's a dovetail joint. And that way, they don't just fall out. So I thought that was pretty cool. The ones, a couple others I've seen, I thought they were magnetized. They maybe weren't. I totally just could have been wrong. So I did run some assembly lube in here too, just to get this guy moving, just to get the viscosity, running about, so it's not straight metal on metal. It's it has a little flex in between there, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, because that's what I need. So yeah, you can totally see that bevel now. Bevel in, bevel in. So the wide part would be on the inside, tapered to the out. But man, I just thought these guys were put together really well. I'm gonna let you guys take a stab and guess what you think this driver cost me. Just, any guess. No guess is silly because you guys know me and I'm rather frugal. So I'm not gonna spend $100 for something like this, right? So just whatever. You take a stab. You don't have to. You absolutely don't. Ronald, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. You got my homies in the chat that, will give you the Beantown welcome. So, dude, welcome. Everybody, absolutely everybody is welcome at Beantown Bushcraft, man. This is, right now it's a the longest time it was a bushcraft channel. Now it's kind of moved more towards, motorcycle stuff and parts and essentially, working on my Dyna, even though she's pretty sound, but there's always parts to be had. So if you just give this a quarter turn, check that out. So it was 4 pieces, the outside ring, and then the other 2, which legit says right on it 49 to 50 mil. But when I was talking earlier about packing seals down and dust caps and shit like that, you just literally just give this guy a squeeze and she will not come apart. And then you flip it for the dust seal because it has a wider end, and you can see that's way wider, and this is nice and tapered. And if you look inside of there, you can see there's just I don't know, what is that, about a 1/4 inch recess? About a 1/4 inch recess inside of there. Maybe maybe a heavy 3/16. I don't know. Let's see exactly what we think it is. It's for 5/16. Yeah, 5/16, maybe 3/8. At any rate, there's a little shelf there, so that helps set your inside fork seals, and then you take it and you literally slide it down. All right, so this is kind of why I wanted to bring everything down here. So what I'll do briefly is I'll show you by undoing the fork, and I'll keep it up over here so you can maybe hopefully have a better view. Maybe I'll do it this way so I'm kind of still in frame too, so I can actually see to make sure I'm getting what I want to in frame. So when I unleashed these guys, I was like, oh no, just through the plastic. It looks like gold, don't it? Little did I know it was wax paper. I was like, oh no, you better not have sent me fucking gold ones. I want, that's the bottom. But I was like, I ordered, you know, fucking chrome colored 49 Fox. I was like, you son of a bitch. So I, you know, quickly pulled the wax paper and was like, oh, all right, sweet. So yeah, they're pretty squared away so far. They seem pretty good. They seem decent. They seem all right. They seem like, you know, obviously I haven't installed them, so I don't know. But what I'm waiting on is these bushings. So hopefully you can see that there's a shelf here and there's a shelf here. So a bushing goes around here. This is one of the bottom, it's like a snap ring almost. You literally slide it over the top carefully, and then dink, it literally just locks in place. So this is one of the things that prevents when I put it in the bottom. This is 25.5 inches. When I put it in my lower, my fork lower, this is one of the things that prevents it from coming out. So I was talking about shit like that with how my uppers, the fork uppers, stay together with my fork lowers and the damping rod and all that shit that's in here, right? So let me just show you this real quick. So this literally goes around and it's not scratching, it's not marring, there's no marks on my forks whatsoever. Oh, that was just me. And then what you do, oh, I actually fucked up. I was wondering why it was making like kind of a slidey noise. It's because I didn't have this fucking dummy locked. Now this guy's locked in. Now he won't come apart. So let's try that again. Let's get it. Go out as tight as we possibly can. There we go. That's the noise I'm looking for. I want like an abrasive noise, but I don't want. So once I get all this stuff on here, to pack your seals, keep in mind, imagine my lower being right here. Bam, bam, bam. And you just slam it down. And then once I take it off, you take it and flip it for the dust seal, and you do the same exact thing. You just run it over, except in reverse. So now the wide part's down here for my actual dust seal, and you just bang, 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 and that's how you lock it in. And yeah, there's no abrasion, there's no nothing. The noise we're hearing is just, it's just the cylindrical, it's just the cylinder of this guy. All this I've checked and made sure that this guy has no rough spots. So let me try now. There shouldn't be any noise. That's what I'm looking for. I wasn't squeezing tight enough. Like I said, I haven't even set them yet. So let me try on this side now too. Yeah, I gotta hold it. Gotta hold it really tight. Yeah, that's the noise right there. Ready? That's a good noise. It's a good metal on metal noise. Normally metal on metal is not good. This is a good metal on metal noise. That's a good metal on metal noise. But anyways, that's a ticket. So that's how you do these. I did obviously have both, and I'll bust both out because I said this is tool time talk. So I just want to keep them separate. So top one up like back there. You can see how nice they wrapped these to when the plastic was still on it. It made me look like this was gold. I was like, dude, the whole fucking Dyna is chrome. It's black and chrome. The last thing I want is to put on fucking gold 49 millimeter forks. Like, no way, man. And then I kind of opened it up and I was like, all right, cool. So I don't know what's going on here. That's a little discolored. Let's aim it down just a bit. That's a little discolored down here. I don't know if they did some tempering with this or what, but you can see that's probably about the mark where it's going to be inside my lower, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. And these holes, if you're curious what these holes are for, these holes are for to pump in up my fork. So now it doesn't go up above here. Yeah, you can see that's kind of shitty looking. It's just from like the packing. But what I'm gonna do is what I've learned from Cruzy Original. Another huge shout out to Cruzy Original. Trick Bike Trent Ryan Cruzy and Tommy Wanna Dyna. Those are all their Instagram pages. If you want to check those out, I'll try to tag them in the bottom. I'll try to tag them in the bottom of this live. But yeah, Trick Bike Trent is Trent Mercado. He is the other owner of Cruzy Originals. There's Ryan Cruzy, who is the OG, and then Tommy Wanna Dyna. Tommy Want Dyna. It's not A. I always put an A in there. Tommy Want Dyna is their parts guy, and like he does all their social media and creates all their t-shirts and all that cool shit. At any rate, these holes pump fork oil, you know, not up here, because this is like on the outside of the bike now, right? So let's bring this back over here. This would be on the outside of the bike, notched up like so. Keep in mind, my top cap is in place, so they don't send it with a new top cap. My top cap is here. See if I can do this and still get out of the way. And I want to keep you pretty perpendicular with this so you can see just how fucking bent this thing is. Dude, it's bent. Let me check this butt. It's bent, and like it's bent pretty good, so. All right, so match this up. Just about there is my straight point. So if you look at the bottom of my axle, that's where it's supposed to be. And you can see just how far it's kicked in. But yeah, right here is exactly, now I'll move so you can see the literal direction I'm following on my fork, and I'm at the right height, but it's supposed to be legit right there. So you can see I'm about 5 degrees off on the bottom, man. That's no good. So my whole front is just, it's kicked in really hard. When I first went to go check this bike out from dude, you know, who I picked it up from, I was like, man, that's awful snug in there. That is awful snug. And I'm thinking, shouldn't that rake? I know, you know, FXs have a pretty tight rake and trail, but man, that should not be in that tight. I'll be honest with you. It's not riding terrible. Like, if it was riding terrible, I wouldn't be friggin' riding. Let's just say that much. I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be risking it for my safety. Absolutely no way. If my friend was fucked, let me plug this back in. I wouldn't be riding it like that. So it's riding okay. It's not riding, you know, pissing. It's not nowhere near stable. It's terribly, you know, it vibrates like a motherfucker. I always vibrate anyways, but this, you know, vibrates a little bit extra. So let's see if I, yeah, that's a ticket. And then bang, bang, bang. So then we flip it. I'm gonna try to keep that same tension on it. It seems when I let go, my edges are not, and like I said, this wasn't the best. Oh, did anybody take any guesses? Is Erroneous in? Aaron, what's up, dude? What's up? So, bang, bang, that's how you set the fork seal, so, or the dust cover, rather. That's awesome. So, now you can see I grabbed my 49 mil fork tubes. Oh, that's filthy in here, too. Maybe that, yeah, that needs a massive douching, man. Oh, my gosh. I wish you could see inside of here. I don't think I could get a positive light up behind it where you can actually see. Well, maybe right there, huh? Now, there's not going to be rifling like there is in a barrel, but I don't even know if you can see, but I assure you, it's dirty as fuck in there. It needs a massive douching, man. Like, massive douching. So, the part with the holes at the bottom, that's what gets lined up. That's what gets lined up on my lowers, and you know, hopefully, just hopefully, man, this is going to be the ticket. These are one of the things I cut corners on, and I hope it's not going to come and kick me in the ass after the fact. But it's hard to find new front forks, because that's what I just had out, for under 500. I spent $130 on those. So I hope that's not going to be one of the things that fucks me when I go and put this front end together. I really, really hope. I'm praying to the gods. I hope that does not come and bite me in the ace, because that would just be really, really bad, man. That would be bad if if that would fuck me over. It's not something it's not something I'm really anticipating. So I kind of don't want to say that because I am kind of anticipating it. I always anticipate problems, but I'm trying not to anticipate massive problems with. I get those guys set. I get everything. I get fluid in them. I get my whole race tech kit in there, and then, you know, the Fox just turned into shit or something. Like, that would just be... Hi, babies! That would just be bad. So I'm hoping that something like that just, you know, doesn't come to bite me in the ass. I do not want that to bite me in the ass at all, because that would just be bad business, as you know. Yeah, if that happens, man, I could be in a world of hurt. Hello, mister! Oh my goodness! Oh, you're trapped! Okay. Wow, that was close. Oh, that was close. Give me a doofus face. Oh my goodness, what a face! Oh, the baby boys! The boy has made it. He is back. He literally came running over to me. And he has his leash on, and his leash got wrapped around my charger. Oh, that could have been really bad. Oh man, fucking doofus. So yeah, man, that could have been pretty bad. So with these guys get mounted on top of the springs. I had this earlier when I did just a quick little one, just to show you that you can see that diameters are just spot on. You know, those are the nuts. These guys line up and they just, look at the tolerance on that. And I'm holding these pretty square, but you can just see the tolerance on that is ridiculous. That is, you know, that's not something that from factory that I would ever worry about being out. So that's just fucking dope. These guys are dialed. Like, you know, I'm holding it towards me. That's why this looks so weird and off. But let me hold it on this side. Yeah, that's proper right there. That is absolutely perfect. So let me bust out quickly just one fork and show you exactly how this goes. So if I can hold this over here. Clearly there's no bottom, so, you know, shit's gonna fall out. But if I can just do this, send my spring, and you can see that tolerance is pretty tight alone. But once I send the spring in, you know, now it clearly fills that gap. So by filling that gap and then having this guy on top, let me see. All right, that's sitting pretty good down the bottom. One thing I can do is bring it right back, because it's about 2 feet. So if I can do this, oh yeah, that tolerance in there, that is just spot on. All right, so that's what I was shooting for. Hopefully, I can zoom in enough where you can see all 3 holes I was talking about earlier, Gino, right? So that accepts the fluid, that allows the fluid to flow through into my lower. That's actually a damn good view. Hold on, do I have a flashlight available in this? Oh, money, kid, money. So what were we talking about with that plate? Remember that plate? All right, let's see. Let's get parts and pieces out here so I can actually explain and do diagram directly. So check plate, here we go. That was that metal plate that now you can see in 3 of those places. The silver plate you can see in 3 of those places. That's the check plate. That was the thing that, you know, had to kind of stay, what do I say, stay stable. And that way it allows the 3 open holes you see to, that's essentially how it filters the fluid from my bottom to my upper, which is just fucking fantastic. That's going to be an absolute game changer. And now I was talking about cartridges. Let me explain cartridges now. Now, a cartridge, you have no need for a spring. The spring is literally built in to the whole damn thing. you literally take, and you can keep your lowers on when you take your forks off. You drop the whole cartridge right down inside of here, and next thing you know, bang, you put your top cap on along with, right? Oh, and look at that. That's absolutely just the right diameter. All right, so that's for sure. Oh, you can't see unless I get in a frame, huh? All right, so spot on. There's like barely any wiggle room, so that tells me right then and there that, you know, this is a damn good fit, and that's an okay pot. So that guy pops in there and just, you know, the tolerance is really nice. So that tolerance being that close absolutely just gets me dialed. So with the cartridge, whole cartridge goes in. It's about, I don't know, 28 inches, something like that. I think it's, so I don't think I can send a tape down here. Oh, maybe I can. All right, let's measure. So this overall is 25.5. That's spot on. Now, let me just break that down in two and see how deep this guy is before I hit my filter. All right, so 23 and 3/16 is what this is showing on. Picking that up. 23 and 3/16 is what this is actually landed on. Right on the money. You can get, yeah, 23 and 3/8, not 3/16. 23 and 3/8, 23 and 3/16 strong. So that's how deep this fucker is. With that, drop a 23-inch cartridge in, right? And then it's going to take up all the room. Spring, emulator. What are you doing?
Looking for the batteries. There's need two in the charger. Yeah.
23 and 3/8 is that depth. So with that popping in, there's a charging system, which is the opposite of what I'm doing right now. I'm doing springs, I'm doing emulators, you know, bushings, whether it's brass or steel. Not sure exactly, because I know one of these is for lowering. Last thing I want to do is lower that. And one of them is, and these guys are mad light, so the brass, you'd expect they'd have the weight that they have, right? So that's 1 inch on the button. Let's see what these fuckers are. That is a 1/2 inch on the button. Maybe a little strong. Yeah, we'll burn 1 inch. We'll burn 1 inch and call it a 1/2 inch. So with these guys, I'm gonna guess that the smaller ones are to lower. The bigger ones are to keep the top of my emulator with the spring. So I'm guessing they would put brass together just so it looks all, you know, all spanking new. But that's how this guy lines up. And then, here we go. Now I'm in frame. I keep popping out of frame. I apologize. Let me switch. There we go. Let me switch this. Popping out of frame because I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. Ooh, I'd rather drop the bushing than the emulator. Ooh, my goodness gracious. So, here we go. That's way better. One thing I think I'm going to have to replace is that blue. Go to yellow on that. But that's how it's going to sit. So we'll actually feed it right in. So spring, literally, you can just, you don't have to be careful with that. Spring can go in. Emulator sits in the top, and you can see that nice detent right there. What did we call that earlier, Gino? The base. So the check plate and the base literally sits right on the edge. So we'll keep that right on the edge of the, right there. Right? Put a little weight on it so it doesn't come flying out, and then we'll pop this guy just on because it mates that surface fantastically. And then we'll take our dimensions. So, cool. Everything lined up in there perfect. I know why I switched the camera on, because I couldn't see looking down here with you guys last time. Also, the flashlight. There was no real lighting on that. Yeah, the light's not on at all. I'd rather shine a flashlight down it. That's why I flipped the camera. At any rate, 49mm Fox Race Tech internals. We got that guy on the outside, which is going to be a bushing. You going to bring him back out?
Yeah,
Oh, did you bring his dish back?
yeah.
So emulator, top bushing, and that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to take a measurement from that to see exactly how big of a shim I gotta cut. That was my. Let's make sure it's sitting in there flush. So I'm not 100% on that, but as of right now, let's see, 9 3/4. So I'm picking up 9 3/4 on the button. Hi, Mister. Hi. I missed you too. Oh my goodness. So we got 9 3/4 on the button. Let me tilt this down so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. 9 3/4 on the button, and we still got a shim stack. There's a couple of these guys. These are like detent washers that actually at the top before my top cap. So I'm not 100% exactly what I have to cut, but essentially, oh, that's cool. I actually like that. Check it out. I just brought the whole emulator and stack on there with the end of the magnetic tape. So that shines some light on here. And then after I fill it up, like Gino, what I was talking about earlier, after I fill it up, I can get my dimensions here, cut this guy off, and then it will tell me exactly what I need to cut for spaces, right? That's probably the easiest way I can explain that with still knowing as minimal as I do, because I haven't done a shitload of reading about this yet. So that's about as dialed as I can give for a diagram on the whole front end. But, you know, with that being said, there's just so many moving parts that it's going to be a chore. Let's just say that. It's going to be a blast, because I like shit that's difficult, and that's kind of the MO, but it's also not going to be simple. And I don't want it simple. If I want it simple, I go buy fucking cartridges. You know what I mean? I buy a cartridge front end and spend, you know, whatever ridiculous amount they want for that, just to go bing, bang, boom, top cap, fork oil, send it. I don't want it like that. That's too easy. You know, things that are too easy suck. They're not good. Work for good shit. You know what I mean? Work for... That speaks volumes. Whether, you know, you just like it the easy way, or, you know, you actually like to put a lot of work into something to have it dialed and catered to you. At least that's how I operate. I know that's how an awful lot of others operate too, and that's why, you know, we're friends. That's why I respect you, because it's just, you know, fuck the easy route. You know, give me the more complicated way, but I also want the way that it's going to be a one-off. And if somebody says, "Oh, you rebuilt that front end," yeah, you're fucking right, I did. And like I said, it's not going to be an easy process, but that's half the fun, is putting in all the work and knowing that, you know, I did it with either minimal help or, you know, completely solo. So that absolutely does it for me. That cracks my cookie. Is that even a thing? I don't think that's a thing. That floats my boat. So half the fun. Who else hopped in here? Let's see. Erroneous. Kid, what's good? How the fuck are you, man? Good to see you in here. Long time no see. Southern Dive Bar. Yeah, he very well could. You know, Elton John, and what was that other fruitcake? Liberace on the piano. Those two fucking pickle sniffers sticking out with a gold ring and a Southern Bar. Dude, you're a howl. Thank you guys. You guys are the best, man. You guys are the best. I don't know how to send a wave back. I guess I'll just say hello to you, Erroneous Blades. Appreciate you, my man. I see you and Lisa have been doing some serious work together, man. That's huge. That is fucking huge. Just keeping you in business. I love to see that. That just absolutely warms my heart. Thank you for the shout out, Gino. You're an absolute gent. Somebody had a retracted comment. What does this one say? I said that all wrongly. So okay, much love. That's probably why he backpedaled out of that. But yeah, hopefully that breaks that down some. You know, I'm not a teacher by no means, so I'm not the best at explaining shit, but that's about as good as I can get with explaining stuff that is also new to me. This is, you know, fairly new to me, so me explaining stuff that I'm not 100% familiar with is difficult on its own, I guess. You know, it's challenging as it is. So for me to talk about stuff that you know, I don't know a shitload about, because I don't know a shitload about front suspension. I know about as much as, you know, the next guy that was trying to rebuild some shit. But you know, I try to keep it as simple as I can, which isn't always easy. So, you know, I get carried away with, you know, talking about different things, and the next thing you know, it's squirrel. See, that's what I'm talking about. See that funny bend right there? That's what I was talking about. Funny bend in my brim. Don't want a funny bend in my brim. It was fine. And then, you know, washing my hat last night, because the whole inside of this bill was just disgusting from me having dirty hands and taking it off. That's what happens when you wear nice shit and you fucking work and get dirty. I get my nice shit dirty. So yeah, I don't know if, like I said, back in the day they used to have cardboard bills, and then they went to like hard plastic. I kept this guy in front of the fan all night long, and now it's still a little wonky on this side. So who knows? I'll just have to put it in between something, get it flat again, and then put a better bend in it, because I don't like that being as fucking wonky as that is. It just looks weird. But this guy's an absolute lifesaver. This seal driver is gonna be next level, man. Gonna be absolute top shelf. I think that is the nuts alone. I just hope it lines up with minimal adjustment. That seems to be better. Yeah, that seems to fit a bit better in there. I think that's a ticket. Yeah, I think that's a ticket. That seemed to be okay. I just wish there wasn't such a gap on one side, so when I mate one surface, the other side comes right apart. Let me see if I can go get this silly boy. I think this dipshit left him upstairs again when I told him to fucking leave him down. Nobody listens. What's wrong with kids nowadays? These fucking idiots just won't listen. He doesn't listen. He's a fucking doofus. Bring your ball down. You guys want to see Buddy Boy? Of course you do. You guys don't want me. You want the Buddy Babies. Did you grab your stick? Come here. Say hi to the peoples. They've missed you all day. You know how many people were talking about you? They just missed you all day. Come here, right here. Say hello. Oh my goodness. It's a Buddy Babies. Oh, that's a Mr. Hi. Oh, I just missed you, Goofus. You got your stick? Oh, you got it? Give me that stick. Oh, you give me that stick. Give me that stick. Hi, babies. You want to run with it? Okay, be careful. Don't hurt yourself. I've missed that little trooper all day long. You know where he was? He was in my room looking out the window on my bed. So that's what he does. I got a 3-panel window in my bedroom. Good boy. Did you drop it? You wait. You wait. Wait. You wait. That's a good boy. Wait. Good babies. Up. Wait. I'll film this way so we can get you in frame, okay? You wait. Wait. That's a good boy. Thank you. Oh, what a good baby. Right here. We'll go get your ball in a second, okay? Are you ready? Good boy. That's a good boy. There's no lights in the driveway right now because he wasn't out here. Good boy. Oh, that's the mister. There's no lights in the driveway because I went out there with him, so I can either run up and grab his tennis ball or I can keep chucking away on this. I'll go grab his tennis ball in a little. I just miss this little bastard, honestly, as much as you guys miss him. Fucking seen him all day. He left at like, I don't know, noon, 1. It's just the best, man. Just the best. Thank you for everybody who's in here right now. I appreciate you. Go log on to Hayes Johnson's and Lisa Silverwolf. Oh, and now my friend Erroneous Blades is in here. Makes some really killer knives. Hayes Johnson's runs a fantastic family channel. He has chickens in his backyard and all kinds of cool shit. And Lisa Silverwolf does some awesome AI art. So this is like a hookup of a channel right now. You really get blessed with some knowledge. Not for me. I don't know dick. From my people. Alrighty. So let me go get this kid's tennis balls. I'll let you overlook on the lovely pots we got going on here. Pots and pieces. You can talk amongst yourself if you don't mind. Appreciate you. When I come back, we'll do more fork talk and whatnot. You reach your tennis balls, mister, okay? Let's go get your ball. I'll go get it. Give me 1 second. That's the babies. Right there. Yep, that's the babies. Oh my goodness, mister. I just saw 3 of them for him. I only grabbed 2, but I know the trick with him now is I keep one of them and he knows. I keep one of them, that way I bring him back. So we did this a couple nights ago. I was playing ball with him. Oh, he already grabbed that one. I'm not gonna sneak. He doesn't know I got this one. I'll watch him come right back. You got 2? Fuck you. Look, he's literally rolling it right to me. He does it religiously. Good boy, you ready? Okay. Oh, what a good boy. Did it go under? I think it went under. Go get it. Guy, go get it. Oh God, he's so smart. So where I tossed it, you're not gonna believe this fucking kid. Where I tossed it, right? It went, no, I don't want it on me. It went right through. He's right there right now. God, you get it. Good boy. You get it. He's really good at sniffing them out. God, mister, you get it. Good boy. So where I tossed it, it went under the fence. About a month ago, he went through here, and so we walked around because it went in the neighbor's yard, and we went to go get it. You got it? Oh, good boys. Oh, you brought it back. What a good baby. And he like shows me too. He's like, look, I got it. So at any rate, it went under the fence. He gets it. He was looking at me like, oh, will you get it? Will you help me? Please, you get it. I can't get it. So of course I walked around, and we did this about 3 times. And then finally I was like, no, you go get it. I literally just said that to him now. The first thing he did is he peels around the fence and goes and get it. Good boy. What a good babies. You want one? I got one right here. God, you drop it. And he just drops it for me. This kid is just the best, man. I swear to God. Good boy. Right here. What a good boy. You ready? Oh, yeah. Good boy. But now, when it goes in the neighbor's yard, he'll literally just go fetch himself because he's just that fucking awesome. Lisa, you're out of here? Oh, no. That man definitely makes some mean blades. Yes, he does. Lisa, you out of here? That one you said was on IG, Lisa? Handsome man. I hope you're not talking about me. Maybe going soon, unfortunately. Oh, getting tired. All right, I get you. I get you. If you got to go, go ahead. If you got to go, Lisa, I get it. I don't want to, I don't want to keep you if you're getting tired, man. That's not, good boy. That's not my MO. I don't want to keep you past your bedtime. You ready? Oh, good boy. God, you get it. Good boy. That's a baby. So watch him roll it right to me. As soon as he sees it, good boy. Oh, that one he shot at. Holy shit. So he drops it out of his mouth. He's this smart. He drops it out of his mouth so he knows it's going to come back to me. You're such a good boy. What a good boy. Oh, thank you. Ready? Okay. So when I bounce it and he sees I have the tennis ball, he'll let it go out of his mouth and he'll either kick it or it will just come rolling right at me. Good boy. This one just landed right here. Okay, that's a good boy. Good boy. Oh, this kid is just, you know, the time I've had with him, he is just friggin' outstanding, and he's just getting smarter. And he's learning so well every day. Good boy. Oh, that's a baby. Good job. That's a good boy. Ready? Okay. Oh, it's, you know, he can never get enough of either playing with sticks or tennis balls. He's the best, and I enjoy the hell out of it, too. Oh, that one went flying. Oh, my goodness. Almost to the end of the driveway, mister. Holy moly. Okay. Good boy. Well, now that we got his tennis balls. Good boy, you have it. You have it. Did you get it? I'm pretty sure you got it. I don't see it in your mouth because you got such a big mouth, Goofus. You silly rabbit. How much battery we got? Oh, we're good, man. 99. I was worried about keeping this guy plugged in, dude. We're good. We are good as gravy. So there's not much I'll be able to do on the bike tonight, like I said, with not having a couple of the internals that go in here. Like you saw, I have the big spring. You saw I have the emulators and stuff like that. One thing I don't have, well, there's like three things I don't have. One of them being the coupling spring that goes around here. Like you can see that detent. There's a lip here. There's a lip here. There's a nice almost retaining ring. I'm not sure if that's even the name for it, but there's a retaining ring that sits at the bottom of this guy. One here and then one on the other one, of course, right? So I don't have the fork oil either. I ordered the fork oil that just should be here. I mean, even tomorrow, I'm not 100%, but these guys are 25.5-inch forks for my 49mm Dyna. What I did do is I matched up a couple times. I don't know if you guys are still interested, but handsome man for the big dog. Oh, Lisa, you're the best. Well, if I'm not here when you depart, I just want to say have a lovely night and have a great Monday, and hopefully you have some time once you get those clips to hang those guys on the wall, because that is going to be an outstanding video alone, and I can't wait for that one. But I hope you have a lovely night. As you know, you're one of my absolute besties on here, and nothing but love and respect, man. So I appreciate the hell out of you, and you know that deeply. You're just an all-around good person, man, and that's one, you don't find that online, and two, it's awful hard to find in people nowadays, anyways, that are just solid, stand-up people, like honest to God, just decent, good, all-around friggin' people. So, Gino, I appreciate, man. I'm gonna wrap this up because I covered everything I had to cover. I was gonna do another quick one about this guy, but there's no need, man. I've already had this out, and showed you guys it, numerous times. So I'm pretty good. I'll probably just stay out here, finish the rest of this guy, which is, I don't know, less than half. Play with this boy for a little more and just call it a night, man. I absolutely appreciate everybody that's jumped in here. Why does this keep dropping on me? You know why? Because when I got this stand, the first thing I did is I lubed up so it has like telescopic wider to tighter parts. I lubed up the first 8-inch, 10-inch section, and now it reclines on me when it decides it wants to. But yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything. You guys see what I have to work with now. If you guys are interested, look up Race Tech if you have motorcycles. Even if you have dirt bikes, that's where I learned about Race Tech in the first place. It was dirt bikes. This was a dirt bike company that I got turned on to because they just have, when it says high performance, man, they're no joke. Fully adjustable. Absolutely fully adjustable. One thing I will do is throw one of these dope Race Tech stickers either inside the fairing or maybe the little one. Yeah, inside the fairing. Those are the only two places I really feel. So I'll keep that buttoned up for now. But yeah, man, you guys see what I got here. Hopefully those forks are the right ones, man. I draw a mule there on myself. Hopefully they're the right ones. Hopefully I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot. And I ordered some Chinese bullshit because they did have the weird, ding-dong markings on it. I just hope it doesn't shoot me in the foot because the only other ones I saw were $500 to $700, and I paid $135 for these guys. Granted, they look good, but they could be absolute garbage. I do not know until I mount them, fill them with fuel, fill them with fork oil, excuse me. So I won't know. I just won't know. But when you guys see this video again, you will see one of these guys on the fairing, because I don't want to stick on my bike like that. Good night, Lisa. Have a lovely night. Gino, thank you much. I appreciate you. I'm signing off. Aaron, if you're still here, have a great night. I don't see any other familiar faces in here. It looks like Aaron might have split. I haven't seen him comment for a while. Yeah, you guys have a fantastic night, man. I just appreciate you. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are fucking outstanding, man. Absolutely outstanding. Nothing but love and respect for my dearest friends. You guys are killed this by accident. Jesus, I didn't even fucking do a sign off. Hit the wrong button, my bad. God, I suck as a person. Fuck. Love and respect. Appreciate all yous. And you guys just have a lovely night. And I will touch base with every single one of you tomorrow. I'm going to go play with the boy. Somewhere near in a Viking. Beantown Bushcraft. Hey, it's the Johnsons. Lisa Silverwolf. Erroneous Blades. And Buddy the Shepherd. That's all I got to say. Love and respect. Catch yous on the flip side. Have a good night, man.